She thought it was just another day in the mess hall, serving food, keeping her head down, and staying invisible. But when the general's eyes caught sight of her tattoo, the tray slipped from his hands, crashing to the floor. Silence slammed through the room. Every gaze locked on her. What was it about that mark that could shake a man of such power, and why would it ignite a storm that would change her life forever? She wasn't a soldier. She wasn't a leader. She was just a young woman working in the base mess hall, her days ruled by the clang of trays, the smell of burnt coffee, and the endless shuffle of boots. To most, she was background noise. But beneath her sleeve rested a tattoo, a piece of her family's heritage, etched in ink, carrying generations of struggle and pride. For weeks, she blended in, careful not to stand out. In a place where difference drew judgment, invisibility was her shield. She never imagined that one small slip of fabric could expose her, secret, or that a single glance from a man in power could unravel the fragile safety she clung to. The sound of that tray hitting the floor was deafening. Soldiers froze. Eyes darted between the general's pale face and the ink on her arm. She stood motionless, torn between covering it, explaining it, or vanishing into thin air. Too late. His face hardened and whispers rippled like wildfire. That tattoo wasn't just ink. It was a cultural symbol, a mark tied to a people dismissed and despised by those who clung to power. To her, it was pride. To him, it was defiance. He didn't shout. He didn't need to. His silence condemned her more loudly than words. By nightfall, rumors swept the base. Did you see it? How did they let her in here? Every whisper carried exclusion like a dagger. The stares lingered. Conversations fell quiet when she passed. What once was routine now felt like a gauntlet of judgment. The next morning, her supervisor pulled her aside. His voice was clipped and professional, but uneasy. "Cover it up," he said. "Don't give anyone a reason." She nodded, but inside, something cracked. Why should she hide the very piece of herself that defined who she was? Yet the message was clear. Her identity wasn't welcome. Days stretched into weeks. The general avoided her, but his disapproval trickled down. A spilled drink became a muttered insult. A misplaced tray earned punishment harsher than it deserved. The mess hall became a battlefield, each meal served under the weight of stares and unspoken cruelty. Then came the inspection. Rows of soldiers stood sharp as the general marched past. When he reached her, her sleeve had slipped, just enough for the ink to peek through. This time there was no tray to drop, just his cold, deliberate stare. He leaned close, voice low, venom sharp. "People like you don't belong here." Her heart pounded. She stood tall, but she knew it wasn't a warning. It was a promise. The inspection was supposed to be routine. But when he stopped in front of her again, silence devoured the hall. His hand shot forward, yanking her sleeve up. Gasps echoed as the tattoo stretched across her arm, on full display for every soldier to see. Her symbol of resilience became his weapon of shame. His voice thundered, hurling words like disgrace, stain, and unfit. Each word branded her as less than human. Eyes burned into her, some with pity, others with agreement. Somewhere a tray clattered, but no one moved. No one dared, and then came the order, cold, final. "Get out! You don't belong here." Her hands trembled, but no tears fell. Each step toward the exit echoed like gunfire. Her worth reduced to ink. Her identity dismissed as shame. The door loomed, and with it, the crushing silence of a room that chose complicity over courage. She understood then. This was never about a tattoo. It was about erasure, about silencing who she was. And as the door slammed behind her, the mess hall erupted. Not in outrage, not in support, but in suffocating silence. She walked away with nothing but that silence echoing behind her. No one had spoken. No one had stood beside her. That wound cut deeper than dismissal. It was proof that silence can wound as deeply as hatred. But the ink remained, unshaken. What the general saw as a stain was in truth her story. A story no order, no humiliation, and no silence could erase. Her story is not hers alone. Across the world, countless others carry the weight of being judged, excluded, or silenced for who they are. Their marks may not be ink, but their scars are real. So the question is not why she was cast out. The question is why so many stayed silent. Because silence is not neutral, it is surrender. And every time it echoes louder than courage, injustice thrives. So ask yourself, when the next tray crashes, when another life is marked by prejudice, will you stay silent? Or will you speak?